Hi dudes and dudettes, I am God Gorilla. I'm sure this topic has been talked about a million times before, but I want to share my take on this twist of events. Now the topic is the Emperor in Star Wars actually evil? Roll intro! Now, of course, we all know he is evil, and this is just a theory, but nonetheless, it's a fun discussion, and we're not going to discuss how hard the prequels suck. That job went to Redlettermedia, and they did a way better job than I will ever be able to do.
If you're someone who's under the age of like 20, who says his least favorite film in the series is The Empire Strikes Back because it was the most boringest one, then I suggest you shut this review off right now, before I carefully explain how much of a fucking idiot you are.
Link in the description, let's dive right into it. There is a lot of points to be made about him being evil or not, and let's start with his rise to power. Yes, he starts a civil war, a war where they use disposable clones versus droids, and suffer little to none civilian casualties. For all the citizens of Coruscant knows, there might not even be a war at all. Okay, he got those kids killed, and the Jedi, but it isn't the worst cue. He kept casualties on a low, and they actually attacked him, so he had no other choice really. Now, let's look at his rule. It may steam of some corruption, but the galaxy seems stable and prosper enough to build a Death Star, or two. I recommend watching this video from Film Theory about that. But basically, when Luke and the gang destroys the Death Star, it should give the entire Republic, or the Empire if you want, a huge economic backlash. But to put it in perspective, let's say a terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. Just look to Israel and the Palestinians to get that confirmed. But imagine if some anti-Trump or anti-Obama or anti-Bush, imagine some anti-whatever president that sits went and blew up the Pentagon. To him and his gang of little retards, it may seem like a great idea in the fight for freedom, but to the rest of the world and everyone with a level of sanity, that's irrational terrorism, often worded as fundamentalism. So what this means is that rebels are nothing but petty terrorists in the governing eyes, and by modern definitions in the Western world. Now that's established. Luke is a terrorist and the Emperor is just fighting them with his freedom-fighting war machine of a Death Star and Star Destroyer fleet. But let's move on. What else does the Emperor delve into? We don't really see him involved a whole lot with the war in the Star Wars sequels, so that tells me that bitch is actually governing. I mean, this motherfucker doesn't look like he gets LSD and pussy on a daily, unless he rapes a lot. So we gotta assume that off-screen he is hustling hard for the Empire to stand. And he must do a good job, because we never hear anything about starved populations. We don't hear anything about crime rate, maybe because there's little to none. Now you might say, what about that one scene where Anakin and Obi-Wan murders that woman in the back alley? And I'll answer, you fucking idiot, that's before good old Palpatine takes over, and that's in the prequels. Fuck those films.
Jedi business, go back to your drinks.
Tell us now!
In fact, we never see the Jedis acting like thugs in the streets anymore after Palpatine takes over, because they're dead, but still little to no crime. So to conclude this video, let's roll up the pros and cons of the Emperor. Pros: prosperous economics, low crime rates, literally no poverty that can be seen at least, use non-human and exposable armies. Cons: he got the Jedi killed and they were assholes. So my conclusion to the question about the Emperor being evil is no. He is an capable leader that takes the hard choices others couldn't take and made long-term peace, except for some terrorists. From a objective stance, looking at the fact, there is no way he is an incapable and bad leader, if a bit amoral. But a bit of amoral is good because SJWs are trash. So that's my video on the Emperor not being evil. Tell me what you think. Is he evil? Is he good? Am I retarded? Let me know. Really. Like and subscribe if you really enjoyed this video, and hit the bell to get notifications when we upload. We upload every week, sorta. Bye! Now I'm filling in for Steven because he can't seem to find this fucking battery to his camera and finish the video he initially is working on. So yeah, that's why I'm here.